Welcome! My name is Zane, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do this Miss Argentina inspired look. So Beetlejuice has been one of my favorite movies since I was born.
Even though Tim Burton is low-key racist.
So it only makes sense that I would do a Miss Argentina look. I have always wanted to turn myself teal and be an undead social worker. That's always just been a dream of mine personally. So I figured I would try to do a Miss Argentina inspired look for this week's This is Halloween. So grab your face paint and stay tuned if you want to see how I did this Miss Argentina inspired look. Alright, so I'm starting off with a naked face, and we're going to ignore any possible background noise because I'm recording this voiceover during a hurricane. Okay, so I'm just laying down a pretty thick coat of this Snazaroo face paint in Sea Blue. It's a water activated face paint, so I'm just spraying it with some water and then using a brush to put it everywhere that's going to be visible, literally just covering my whole life in this teal face paint. I also went in with a damp sponge to try to even out the coverage as much as I could in the face. But yet again, as even as I could get it. Then I went ahead and set it all with some translucent powder to try to lock it in for as long as I could. And then to move on to contouring, I'm taking the NYX Cosmetics Primal Colors in Hot Blue, and I'm kind of pouncing, patting, whatever, stippling this on. I found this worked the best. Rather than a kind of buffing blending motion, because that disrupted the face paint and made it want to leave. So for all these powders, I'm kind of pressing them on rather than swiping them around, if that makes sense. Moving on to the eyes, I am taking the Sugar Pill Shadow in Mochi, and I'm putting this on the whole eye area to try to even out the color a little bit. This is going to lay down a lid color and also work as a little bit of a transition shade. At some point in here, I threw in the ColourPop liner in Zulu, and I used that on my waterline just to, continue the color. I went into the crease with that same NYX Cosmetics blue shadow, and now I'm deepening that with the Sugar Pill shadow in Elemental Chaos, just these blues and these purples to create this dead, smudgy, smoky, sunken in eye. It does not have to be super neat. It can definitely be smoky and smudgy and a little bit of a mess. That kind of fits because you're dead. I also deepened up that crease a little bit with a matte black, and then I highlighted with a duochrome green highlighter, but that kind of washed it out too much. It was too much of a highlight. It took away from the color, so I kind of blended that out with those shadows to make it really smudgy. And then I went in with this NYX Cosmetics Loose Pearl shadow. It's a kind of minty teal color, and I highlighted the inner corner, and I also popped a little bit of that in the center of the lid just to add some dimension and shine, because she is Miss Argentina. She clearly won a pageant. Let her live her life. Moving on to brows, which I did 2 different brows, but what's new? I am going in with the ColourPop brow pencil in Bangin' Brunette, and then I am going over that with Elemental Chaos just to bring in that color, that purple, and I also blended out the front for an ombre with Mochi because that's kind of the skin tone. I went ahead and used a brown eyebrow pencil and then just put a purple shadow on top of that rather than just going in with a colored eyeliner, because I wanted the brows to be more of a subtle hint of color, because in the movie her eyebrows seem to just be like her natural brow tone, and I didn't want them to be a real pop. I just wanted them to kind of fall within the color story, if you will. I then went ahead and thrown some winged liner, and I went over that with that matte black eyeshadow, really rough and smudgy, because I wanted to keep that slightly grungy, not super neat vibe. And then I highlighted my whole face and my brow bone with Mochi by Sugar Pill just to continue this color. And then because it's me, I always have to have, metallic cheekbones. That's just my life. I went over it with that same loose teal mint shadow that I put in the inner corner. Then I went ahead and thrown this bright red liquid to matte lipstick, mascara, If you make any mistakes like with the lips or whatever, you can just go back in with that face paint, spray some water on it, take a little brush and use it as a kind of concealer. It worked really good for that. And yeah, I think that's it. I stayed away from setting spray because I figured that might reactivate the face paint and make it drip. So, and here we are, the finished product.
Do you have an appointment? But did you read the handbook?
So I decided not to include the risk situation because honestly, suicide and self-harm is not really a punchline or like a fun Halloween costume. So I figured we would just scoot around that and continue to just be teal and have a good time. So yeah.
Costume-wise, I just basically threw together some red clothing. You can do whatever you want. You can go as in-depth as you would like.
And then I just grabbed a piece of ribbon and used a Sharpie and wrote, because I would like to think that Miss Argentina is pro-ho and she's not into like slut shaming. So also, you can definitely use something like a red wig. I don't have a red wig, but I do have dyed red hair, even though you can't see it because the only colored part is like an inch at the bottom now. Also, I put it up because it was covering up my sash, but you can take it however you want.
That's why it's an inspired look.
I can't wait to try to wash all of this face paint off. Also, I just wanted to take a quick little moment to throw in a little update. I'm currently packing up my house and moving, so I'm gonna scale back the Halloween videos just a little bit from what I wanted to do for this October. I had plans to do like a whole bunch of videos. I'm still doing a lot of videos. I'm doing some extra videos from what I normally do, but I am scaling it back just a little bit because, you know, I have other things happening. It's a fun time stuff. So yeah, just wanted to throw in that little update because this is part of the Halloween series, but also this could be me any other time of the year. But so yeah, I hoped you enjoyed this Miss Argentina look. Let me know who your favorite character from Beetlejuice is.
Don't say that name 3 times, but, you know, whatever.
We come in peace. Subscribe.